it's Lotus here. And oh boy, buckle up, kids, because I've got a doozy for you. So, you know how the Jurassic Park franchise is all about splicing the DNA of different animals together to create some monster that technically shouldn't exist? That's this movie. Before the credits even rolled, it was very apparent to me that two separate directors worked on this movie, but not just that. The only way that I can fathom how this thing came into being is that they literally wrote and directed two entirely separate films and then tied them loosely together to make this one. Everything with the Jurassic World cast was full of blatant contrivances, plot holes, campy shots, rushed editing, and a lack of structured direction that occasionally led to full-on character teleportation at times. The action scenes were okay, but even some of the dinosaurs seemed far less realistic because of some really distracting puppeteering. The park cast scenes had some of that too, but their writing was better, their scenes weren't cut as harshly, and the direction was definitely superior. The plot still didn't really make sense, honestly, but it's mostly because of the shenanigans that they had to throw in to tie it together with the world plot. Some of my favorite things about Jurassic World Dominion, minor spoilers ahead, most of them out of context. Number one of the characters knows inexplicably how to just drive anything. Like by the second or third vehicle that they inexplicably knew how to drive, I started telling my husband, I was like, this character knows how to drive anything. And then by the third or fourth thing that they somehow knew how to drive without any background or explanation, I just turned to him and go, anything. There was no setup for some of the ways that this character managed to become just transportation character. That was their thing. And my God, did they stick to it? Number two, raptors doing barrel rolls. It happens so much, you can probably make a drinking game of it. I don't know if you guys watch Dan Murrell's movie reviews, but I watched his review after seeing this movie, and he mentioned how often Chris Pratt just puts his hand up at a dinosaur in this movie, and it's absolutely true. It happens so much. It happened so much that I think I became numb to it, and I didn't even think to put it in my own notes. It's just like, okay, yeah, if Chris Pratt sees a dinosaur, then he's putting his hand up at it, and that's just his way, you know? And I mean, I guess it was kind of him channeling a Jedi, trying to do mind tricks on the dinosaurs, but it literally did happen throughout. That is another one. It's not on my list, but I'm totally taking it from Dan Murrell because that's hilarious. And I'm sticking it in here as like a 2.5 or something. So, number three, baby dinosaur jazz hands. It was amazing. Oh no, there's no explanation. There's no explanation for this. That's not even puppeteering. That one was CGI, and there's no excuse for that. It was hilarious. My husband was like, the baby knows that they need to be big to be scary. And so they did this. Every time they jumped out, they did this. It was so funny. It was so funny. I can't explain it. When you see it, if you see this movie, you will know what I'm talking about. Hilarious, just unintentionally hilarious. It was great. Number four, a main character isn't named until almost the end of the movie. This one was one of my absolute favorite. Halfway through the movie, we're still following this main character, and I was turning to my husband like, do we even know their name? Like, do we know this person's name? It's been like half a movie, and I don't know this person's name. Then, towards the very end of the movie, someone says their name suddenly, and it's off screen, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that they forgot to introduce this character by name at any point, or have them introduce themselves formally. I swear I watched the whole thing. I didn't even take a bathroom break. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But my God, it took forever for us to learn this character's name from the movie itself. Number five, there was one little dinosaur that was either a baby or a prehistoric naked mole rat, and I just loved him. He was very violent, but which was even more hilarious because it's just this cute little baby thing. He was hilarious. I had to throw him in my list. Number 6, a dinosaur yelling spitefully at water. A number 7, character gets jettisoned out of the relative safety of a plane into a swarm of hungry pterosaurs because there's only one parachute and they need to live. It was amazing. The logic of this movie was so hilarious to me. It was chef's kiss. Like, everything that they go through is for nothing. Everything that all of these characters go through is really for nothing. Nothing really happens. It's kind of funny. Every time somebody does something, it's kind of undone by something else. It's unintentionally hilarious, and I feel like that makes it funnier. Number 8, everyone weirdly invested in shipping 2 characters that they don't even know. That one was hard to track. Why does everyone somehow know that these characters need to be shipped, and why are they so invested in it? It was hilarious. It was really funny. And number 9, character who speaks exclusively in one-liners. That one my husband pointed out pretty early on because it was pretty noticeable early on that that was their speech pattern. And finally, number 10, already having a thing but needing another of that same thing that's far more dangerous to obtain because plot needs them to do something. They already had the thing. They already had one of the thing, but they had to obtain another of the thing, even though it would be far more dangerous to do so, and it's never explained by the movie why they need to do this. So the only explanation is because they needed to do something, because plot. There were so many accidentally funny moments, but there were also a ton of confusing sequences because of, again, poor direction. I'm sorry. The first third of the movie was the worst, I'm gonna say it, by far, because it mostly focused on the world cast. And then the middle of the movie, they're getting a little bit better because we're getting more scenes with the park cast, which clearly, again, had the superior director. I'm sorry to whatever director directed the world cast. And again, this is just a theory. I don't know. Maybe they both worked on all sequences, but I just don't see how that's conceivably possible unless the other director just straight up phoned it in for any of the world cast. Like, I don't understand how this happens otherwise, so I'm gonna stick with my theory that both casts were directed by 2 different directors, because there were 2 different directors that worked on this movie, and it said so in the freaking credits. I feel like every time the park cast was introduced to the screen, the better director took over. The more, I'll say the more skilled director or the more seasoned director took over. And so it got progressively better as the world cast collides with the park cast. And then in the end, finally, we have a better movie. It's still not a good movie. The last third of the movie was the most enjoyable to me personally because it seemed like the better director kind of took over from there. I hope you still go and check it out and see for yourselves. I never intend for anyone to take my review and then just decide not to see a movie based on my opinion on something. I absolutely encourage you to see this for yourself and decide for yourself if you want to see this movie. And if you like this movie, I honestly, we still enjoyed it okay. I just, for the first 2/3, I definitely found myself checking my phone a lot. You know, what time is it? How much time do we have left of this movie? I kind of just want to go home at this point. Um, so anyway, but it did pick up. And it got better, and there were scenes that were definitely really enjoyable. The unintentional hilarity of some scenes and of some character actions were just, I think that they'd be fun even if you're not having a good time with the actual movie. Anyway, I still hope you go and check it out and see it for yourselves, like I said, because apparently a bad movie spliced together with a pretty good movie made an okay movie. So that's basically my review. I give it a 5.5 out of 10. I can't give it any higher than that. The 0.5 is really just because I want to be nice. And I feel like the park cast especially was really good. The transport character was also very good and I enjoyed them. So anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think. Have you seen the movie? Did you like it? Did you feel like you noticed my my little context-free spoilers? And did you agree? Were they accidentally hilarious? Or do you have a completely different takeaway? I would love to know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day. Bye!